Hi, Doc, alcoholic addict,
Yeah.
amongst other things, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Sober School.
Good.
Today, uh, by request, we're going to talk a little bit about resilience, which is who in this room, anybody in this room died before?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
For real, because we're still sitting here.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, they brought me back.
Yeah, they do be like that sometimes. Anybody in this room should probably be dead. All right. So, I would say we all possess, or at least most of us, a modicum of resilience. And yeah, you remember remember when you were a kid and you didn't think you were going to live to 18?
No.
And
28.
How do you take that?
And
When
that-
30 was ancient.
yeah, and then you make it to 18, you don't think you're going to live to 21. Then you make it to 21, you don't think you're going to live to 25. And it just keeps going like that, at least for a while.
Then you get to 61 and you think,
I'm just turned 46 the other day. I prefer to look at it as I have beat Jesus by 13. It sounds way more impressive when you say it like that. But the one thing about life is nobody gets out alive. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, like resilience, the ability to bounce back, and bouncing back is a little bit easier when you're younger. It kind of gets a little more and more difficult
Tell me about
based on the number of bounces. You know, even a metal spring, like something literally built for bouncing.
number of digits in your age.
Well, its ability to bounce back, its elasticity diminishes with time. Like even a spring gets less springy the more times it bounces, and
I was thinking that.
yeah, and
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Shit.
and we are no different. But I got a couple of cool. I'm gonna name drop a little bit. Anybody heard of Aaron Ralston? All right.
No.
Probably not. You've probably heard about the movie they made about him, which is 127 Hours.
Oh, that's the guy that got his arm stuck in the or leg. Yeah, he got his arm off in the.
Yeah, he was climbing the canyon.
Yeah.
There was a rock fall.
Yep.
His arm got trapped.
He got to cut his own arm off with like a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is that's the embodiment of the Serenity Prayer right there. All right, so like you're okay. Like I know what I can't do, which is get my hand out. So I'm gonna focus on what I can do. Because this is a problem. If I don't do anything about it, I'm just gonna die. So better my hand than all of me.
Yeah.
Like it's just the hand's the problem. So if the hand's the problem, get rid of the hand. If you're say in the Bible, if your eye causes you to sin,
Luck it out.
pluck it out.
Yep.
Same thing. Same thing with anything in your life. But yeah, he's definitely living embodiment of the Serenity Prayer because there wasn't a lot he could do, so he just focused on what he could do. Okay? I identify the problem, like recognize that you have a problem. Yeah, I can't get my hand out because it's crushed by a rock. Can't pull it out. Can't call for help. No cell phone signal. So what can I do? What do I got to work with? Okay, I got a pocket knife. And yeah, he did some radical weight loss and cut his own hand off, and he survived because he basically did what it says in the Serenity Prayer. He lived to tell his tale and have a movie James Franco? Yeah. So dreamy. What? But yeah, all right. So another Aaron.
Are you hitting on him?
No. You asked about me? No. Aaron Langworthy. All right. Now this Aaron, hey Aaron, this is a female. She was a tourist, and she was in Australia. Get it? And she went bungee jumping, and the bungee jump broke. The bungee cord broke, and she plummeted like hundreds of feet. Literally, like she fell so far and hit the water so hard it broke her collarbone when she hit the water. So it did a significant fall. Oh yeah, and also crocodiles.
Oh, South Australia,
Yeah. She fell into a river, a flowing river, full of crocodiles, after suffering a bungee jumping accident. And no, she did. Well, she figured it. Well, I can't unfall. She just focused on where do I go from here. All right, let's recognize where I'm at. Recognize where the crocodiles are. Let's find a nice dry spot as far away from crocodiles as I can. And that's all she did. And she survived. Because she just focused on, she recognized the problem, identified them, and she, like, how can I get away from what can I actually do? And that's all she focused on. Because of that, she survived. All right, that's one of my favorites. Greg Tompkins.
I know who that is. I think I know who that is.
He loves his dog.
He punched the kangaroo.
Yeah, he's the dude. Like, so.
I've seen that on TikTok.
Yeah. He's the dude who, like, this big, like jack kangaroos are jacked. They're like swole. Like, I want to be like a kangaroo when I grow up. You know, like that's they're like straight yoked. Like, and
Do I get to get your pound?
yeah. We'll talk about that after class. However, yeah, like he was out in the outback. A giant kangaroo was feeling froggy, ironically, and wrapped up his dog, and like so he addressed the situation. Okay, identify the problem. Yeah. Giant kangaroos got my dog Max.
Yeah. It was only like this.
Yeah, it had him afraid like rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Kangaroos don't mess around.
No, they don't.
And
They don't play.
he ended up taking a couple licks from the kangaroo. But he just went up, okay, just recognized the problem. What can I do about it? All right, just let's face up to the problem. Let's punch that kangaroo square in the face. And by doing the same sort of thing we're doing, identifying the problem, facing up to the problem, and focusing on what we can do, not only he survived, him and Max survived. He and Max survived. And you know what all three of these people have in common? They have they have a couple things in common, but the most profound I feel is after the fact, when asked about the incident, all three of them said could be worse, and it can always be worse. Yeah, and focusing on, man, all right,
Face adversity and more.
yeah, it's not what you've been through, it's what you've survived. The times you died, the times you should have died, the times you went to jail, the times you crashed your car, the times you got fired, the times you messed up relationships.
His dick got caught in that rock.
Yeah.
That would have been rough.
Like, absolutely. Excellent point back there in the peanut gallery. That absolutely would qualify as worse. And that's why I don't go rock climbing nude anymore. Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Well, one morning, well, he's I'll be racist, but he's Japanese. All right, so he goes to work and starts working for the day, and an atomic bomb goes off. Literally. I forget whether it's like
Like Nagasaki or what?
I think he was in Nagasaki. I think it's where the
After
first one hit.
Hiroshima.
After Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima and
Nagasaki was
so
the second one.
he works in Hiroshima.
Oh.
All right, so went to work.
Hiroshima?
Yeah, and the world blew up, and so after he like got out of the wreckage and got checked out by medical, he went home to Nagasaki where he lived, and the world blew up
Oh.
again.
Yeah.
He survived both blasts.
Gosh, that's crazy.
And you know what he said? Neither do I. I don't speak Japanese. But I'm sure it was something positive. I'm sure he was grateful and thankful for being alive. Some to the effect. I'm paraphrasing and assuming things, but yeah. If I, like, here to dodging a bullet.
He said, I'm not on TV, I'm just kind of radioactive.
Yeah.
I still had a good dinner.
Nobody.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm picking up.
I'm shooting from the hip.
I'm picking up his foot now.
So did he say it could have been worse?
But he probably said something to that effect. He was talking about, I read in here, like, he was just grateful.
We don't
You
need
know?
a flashlight anymore.
I don't speak Japanese. I don't pretend to. Just frowned upon from a racial sensitivity standpoint. But
What was the ratio of people like that survived?
it increased the further and further you're away from the blast.
Right.
Because if you're in the blast radius, you're just
Yeah.
vapor. There's like the Hiroshima shadows. There's certain people like the blast was so powerful that it literally like burnt their shadow into the wall,
Yeah.
burnt their outline, and it just vaporized them.
Oh, hell.
And then tens of thousands of people died of radiation poisoning, and
Yeah.
probably
Years
an order of magnitude more than that, like died of cancer
Yeah.
and stuff years later.
I'm wondering how his eyesight was after those two.
Superman.
Big flash.
Yeah. All right. Sidebar. All right. During the Bikini Atoll nuclear tests, they had all these sailors on this boat watching this this atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, go off.
Yeah.
And when they went to because it's super, super bright. Some of them had eye protection, some didn't. So they went and covered their eyes, and they could see the bones in their hands.
Wow.
Because gamma rays are actually just high energy particles, just like a photon.
Wow.
So they basically just went to cover their eyes and just could see their carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Well, not phalanges, but
The weirdest part about Bikini Atoll was what happened at the bottom of the ocean.
yeah.
What
At
happened?
Bikini Bottom, that's
Nah.
where SpongeBob came from.
Yeah. Facts.
Damn it.
What about
Oh
Patrick?
my
Yeah.
God.
Patrick
You guys
came
never hear
from?
that?
It explains so much.
I gotta go.
What about his square pants?
That's just poor fashion choice. All right. What else do I got?
That's pretty sad.
Austin Hatch. All right. So, Austin Hatch, when he was a kid, he was in a plane crash, and his mother, brother, and sister died in the plane crash, but he survived. And then 10 years later, he was in a plane crash, and his dad and stepmother died. And he got messed. The second one, he got messed up even worse. He had to go through rehab and get back, learn to walk again and stuff like twice.
Did he quit flying?
Well,
Yeah, when you hit the
I would
ground.
hope.
yeah. It's not the fall that kills you. It's a sudden stop at the end. But yeah, he like lost literally his whole family. Lost most of his family when he was a kid. Then gravity finished off the rest of his family when he was older, like 10 years later. And like in the hospital for a long time. And you know what he does now?
The pilot.
Skydiving instructor, pilot? No, he's a motivational speaker. That's what he does now. Yeah. He uses uses his experience to help people know that it could always be worse.
Overcome adversity.
Yeah, like if you can go through something like that, and if you can live through something like that, and not only that, live through something like that and be positive at the end of it, that is huge. You literally you've taken a lot of power over something that would normally overtake most people.
I was that little hit by the truck and Buster did.
Yeah.
I've been positive ever since.
Yeah.
Positive you can get hit. I mean, no, positive for real. I'm not mad. I forgave the guy.
But it sometimes it's only because
Sort of.
you know what darkness looks like
Well,
that you can truly appreciate the light in the world.
you know what the front end of the F-150 looks like coming head on.
Yeah, yeah.
And the rear end.
That is technically a bright side
Yeah.
because of the high beams.
Front end. Yeah.
But like people who've been through like our wonderful founder, she went through stage 4 like breast and liver cancer. Like they caught it like relatively late, and she went through a lot. Had to go through chemotherapy, radiation, lost all her hair, and even through all that, she was still teaching these classes. She still stayed clean, and she even like turned the stuff that she went through into more life lessons to share with people who are in recovery. But yeah, it gives you respect. It gives you a perspective, like just knowing that it could absolutely be worse. Like I've been.
And that's the worst thing. You know, I think there's some shit in my life, but nothing even came close to that. And I ran the other way, and did just what she made me promise her I wasn't gonna do, and that was destroy my life over her death. And it isn't until recently that I started taking it back. And I'm still not at a point where I can help others with it. I'm just now getting to a point where I can live with myself over it because of all the woulda, shoulda, couldas, you know. Cancer doesn't happen overnight. Her legs swelled up. I had to watch that.
Yeah.
I had to watch the kids come in and say bye to their mom for the last time. Had to hold her hand while she breathed her last breath. Dude, that was phenomenally just devastating to everything in my existence.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think at some point I could use that to help somebody else. But right now I'm still struggling with helping myself.
Yeah, but and don't worry about like, oh well, hopefully someday I'll be able to use this to help other people. The fact that you are trying, the fact that you're right here right now trying, shows other people that they're not alone. Shows other people that, hey man, he's doing it, I can do it too. I like when I was 14, my mom got diagnosed with lymphoma. It's cancer of the lymph nodes, which are all over your body. Normally you get like liver cancer or another type of cancer, and then it metastasizes and goes to different parts of the body. If you got lymphoma, your lymph nodes are all over your body, and they literally have their own like dedicated highway, the lymphic system, so it just spreads. And I watched her. She was a teacher at an inner city school in Phoenix, gifted teacher, and I watched her go through it, and I was in a facility for a lot of that time, and watched her lose all her hair, watched her get sick. She already had issues where she had to be fed intravenously because she had like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's really bad. She had like 7 feet of her intestine removed. Like, so she was already like weak, and I watched her go through all that, and I watched her go through cancer. Then the cancer went into remission, and then it came back, and then the chemo killed her. And I was not a fan.
Your mom?
Yeah.
My mom died of breast cancer.
It was when I was 16. Like, and I felt even worse about all the stuff I put her through. Like, because I was in and out of like group homes and facilities and getting suspended, and Secret Service coming to my high school to interview my teachers, and FBI, and you know how it goes, kid stuff.
Dang, what did you do? At 16?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And the FBI was elementary school. But
Oh,
I digress. That's another story for another class. But I'll tell you one thing. That whole situation really helped me appreciate the family that I had left. And my family were huggers, and definitely more so after that. And then me and my brother and sister and my dad and his 2 sisters, we all moved into a house together in Phoenix. And as a family, that loss definitely brought us closer. It gives you perspective. Like, man, what did I say I was grateful for? My first morning meditation when I got here.
How soft the toilet paper was.
Multiply toilet paper.
That guy-
Oh my gosh, I am so grateful every time I poop.
That day he came. And then he
Like,
started
'cause-
freestyle poetry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's man, it's a reminder. I'll even go at one of the properties I work at. They've got a porta potty, and I'll go crap in the porta potty just to reminisce some shitty single ply.
Yeah, dude, every day.
Yeah, just a reminder. Like, man,
But the kicker
you said
is,
butt.
Look at that guy.
you can use as much toilet paper as you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that half ply stuff they have in the J John is actually you kind of like multiply it yourself. But like, man, institutional toilet paper kind of exfoliates as you use it, so it's rough business, literally and figuratively. But no, I'm grateful. It's the fact that I went through that shitty situation of it makes me. I'm grateful now. Every time I poop, I think like, man, quilted multiplied toilet paper. Life is freaking good.
Oh, yeah.
And almost every day, I'm mindful and grateful for that. I should work on being more grateful and pooping every day, but that's more a dietary thing than anything else. But yeah, talk about resilience. Like, and again, I've been struck by lightning 2.5 times. I've been hit by cars on a bicycle, somewhere between 11 and 14, depending on how many you want to count. And like getting hit by cars, it allowed me to develop an SOP, a standard operating procedure on the best way to get hit by a car and survive. Because I don't recommend doing that. If you'd like, it's the rest system, so you relax because this shit's happening. and there's nothing you can do about it. Goes back to the serenity prayer. E is establish direction. So figure out which direction you're going, figure out which direction the problem's going, and steer away from the problem, because that way the vehicle transfers less impact through you and just redirects you instead. Yeah, so steer for S, and T is tall. Get tall, because that way, like, just stand up straight with your shoulders back, pop up right before it hits you. Even if you're a pedestrian, you pop up right before it hits you, jump up. It sweeps under you rather than transferring through you, and like, it works. I've used this system like 4 or 5 times, and I'm very grateful that I have this system, but it really sucked figuring it out. But the fact that I can share it with you guys don't have to get hit by a dozen cars to know this. I can give you the life hack. Follow my system. Like, there's got to be a better way. Follow my system, and you could survive getting hit by a car, potentially. I don't recommend testing the system unless you need to. However, the system works. I'm living proof. And it's the simple fact. I was talking with one of our friends who went down to an Oxford house down in Indy. I was talking with him on Facebook last night, and when he left, I gave him some homework. I'm like, man, he's a musician. You need to focus on. You've been through some stuff. You should. It's priceless inspiration material. Some of the best songs around basically come from somebody writing about the suffering or the heartbreak or the messed up situation they went through. Writing about, like,
It's country music.
Blues, like pretty much all blues, you know, by definition. But the common thread being, you use the negative things that have happened for positive. I told him, like, man, if you can use all the darkness and messed up stuff that's happened to you to show other people musically that they're not the only one suffering, then that suffering is actually a blessing. That's a gift. It's a salty blessing. May not be a blessing you want, but it is a blessing nonetheless. And but you gotta use it. You gotta maximize the good you can get out of the bad that's happened in your life. That's where you put your focus. And I always say, like, you can always, if you put your focus on whatever, finding the good in the worst situations, it makes it a lot easier to be resilient, a lot easier to bounce back if you're focusing on the up and not the down. But just like anything, it takes practice. Neurons that fire together wire together. But if you keep at it, at least try. Okay, this sucks. This is horrible. So where's the good in it? Like, got sent home from work. Good. Now I can look for a better job that won't send me home. You know? Didn't get the promotion you were looking for? Good. Now you can get more experience. And ultimately, maybe get a better promotion. Tripped going down the stairs. Man, you got down those stairs fast. Good. You know? Like, that's the way you got to look at things, because you can't make things get unmessed up. You can't make things go bad when they go bad. It absolutely, unequivocally be like that sometimes.
But in the
Some-
same sense, you gotta remember the reality and the pain of that bad, so you don't go back to it. For me, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It's an excellent reminder. Benjamin Franklin, or our under the pen name Poor Richard, and Poor Richard Almanac, wrote, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." It is far easier to keep something from happening than to try and make it unhappen. And on that note, all right, so we suffer from a progressive illness, addiction and alcoholism.
Destruction, chaos.
Yeah, which is a side effect of that illness. But you know what differentiates that illness with, like, all right, so say you got cancer. In best case scenario, okay, go in remission, probably maybe get your hair back. Best case scenario, it doesn't kill you. You ultimately grow your hair back and get back up to your regular weight. But best case scenario, you're going to be maybe as good as you were before. You have a heart attack and go through all the, you got to change diet, get all the medications, and go through all this stuff. And best case scenario, hopefully, maybe you'll be as good as you were before. But the thing about this disease, this is the disease of addiction and alcoholism, is the only disease where if you go through the treatments, you come out better than you were on the other side. Like, it's the whole not ruining your life with drugs and alcohol is super cool, 100%. However, what's even cooler is coming out the other side a better person, having more peace in your heart, like knowing what serenity actually means, like from personal experience. There's a great number of benefits, like improved health, obviously, because you're not poisoning yourself. Yeah. The relationships you still have, or if you work your steps properly, you might be able to get salvage some that you've lost. But just like with me losing my mom, that tragedy helped me become closer and have stronger relationships with the rest of my family. Man, yeah, alcohol and drugs were a big part of our lives. It filled up a big part of our lives. And just like I was saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. If you just stop doing alcohol or drugs and don't fill it up with something else, you're going to have a big freaking hole in you. You're going to have there's going to be a big empty space in you where alcohol and drugs were. So you got to find something positive to put there. It could be new hobbies, like it could be like physical fitness. Like I've spent a lot of time getting high and drinking. No, I spend a lot of time getting healthier. It's cool, but you absolutely have to fill that hole with something. That's what she said. But personal growth, man, like it's real talk. If you actually diligently do this stuff, you will come out on the other side knowing a heck of a lot more about yourself, with a heck of a lot less bricks in your metaphorical backpack, not carrying around a bunch of stuff that's making your life harder, knowing when you do stuff, when you do things that are negative, now you can recognize, oh, I see what I'm doing there. And because I've worked my steps and processed through this all this stuff, because it's basically CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, now you understand. Now it's about thinking about why you're thinking about things the way you think about them. Okay, you can recognize it before it goes any further. You can recognize, oh man, that was messed up what they did. I feel bad for them. They're spiritually sick. Instead of being mad at them. Nobody gets to get you mad anymore. Nobody gets to make you feel some sort of way unless you want to feel some sort of way. This program helps you be mindful. And like, seriously, there's people who've never done drugs or drank alcohol. There's right now there's a Mormon somewhere who's just sad as heck. Super messed up inside, not because he's Mormon, just because he doesn't understand what's going on in here and in here. And we have an advantage over him because we know what darkness looks like. We have the opportunity where we can use these steps to learn more about ourselves and turn that trauma, turn that tragedy into something good. And just remember that it could always be worse. But man, we do recover. It does get better. And there's a whole pessimist, optimist thing. Just I'm a realist. You know, you kind of expect the worst, hope for the best. Because okay, just being mindful, it does be like that sometimes. Okay, things could just totally blow up. Things could blow up. The whole world could blow up twice. Just got to focus on what I can do and not get stressed about the stuff I can't do. When the kangaroo of life steals your dog, punch life in the kangaroo face. You know, like trying to have fun, stuff goes south. Just keep treading water. Recognize where the problems, the crocodile problems in your life are, and just keep treading water, taking the next step, the next paddle to get yourself where you're someplace safe, as far away from them as possible. And yeah, if there's something in your life that's a big problem and it's gonna kill you, it's got you by the hand, by all means, see if there's another way. Check your reception, try different angles. But failing that, if it's a problem that's gonna kill you, cut it out of your life. That's people, places, things, crocodiles, kangaroos, atomic bombs, plane crashes. But you really gotta want it. All right, so there's this. It's the. I'll end with this. All right, so it's really all about wanting to succeed in this. Like, so there's this guy, and he really wants to be successful. So he finds this guru, like this super successful guy. And he's like, man, teach me your ways. And he's like, all right. Meet me at the beach tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. You like the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'm like, all right, whatever. Meets him at the beach. And so, what do we do? So, get in the water. So the guy gets in the water. And
he was like, what does this have to do with anything?
yeah. Well, first off, he's like, you gotta go in more. You can't just like dip your toe in success. You can't just dip your toe in recovery. You gotta like, not all the way.
Jump right in.
Yeah. And like, so he goes waist high, and like, no, deeper. And he's up to his neck, and the guy's out there with him. And the guru grabs his head and holds it underwater. And he's holding him and holding him and holding him. Then he lets him go. And the guy's like, why did you do that? And he's like, when you were underwater, what did you want? I said, I wanted to breathe. Well, you gotta want to succeed as much as you want to breathe. You want to recover, like, you gotta need it that bad. But if you do, there is nothing you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't handle. There's nobody that can hold you down anymore. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, thanks.
Uh,